These are the top 7 reasons why people move to the Pacific Northwest. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm super thankful you're here today because we're going over the top 7 reasons why people move to the Pacific Northwest. I've lived in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State my whole life. I love it here, and other people have found out about the secret. It's a really great place to live. By the way, if you're thinking about moving to the area and you're curious about what the community is like, what there is to do, you should sign up for our Weekend Happenings with Hannah email list down below. We curate the best 4, 5, 6 events locally in Clark County happening every weekend, and we promise we won't spam you. Okay, let's get into our top 7 reasons why people move to the Pacific Northwest. Before I start, these aren't really in a particular order. They all are unique in their own ways. But the first thing on my list is that our weather is moderate. Now you might be thinking, Hannah, that's not true. The weather there is terrible. It rains all the time. That's what I hear. Well, I'm happy to let you know that that's not true. It does not rain here all year round. And in fact, it doesn't even rain here every day in the winter. I would implore you to go look at the historical weather data so you can see exactly what happens every year. But we get all 4 seasons beautifully here. And the great thing about getting all 4 seasons is that we really appreciate all of them and we kind of lean into that change every season. I feel like I would get very bored and life would feel mundane if I lived somewhere like California where it's either sunny or really sunny, right? Here we get all 4 seasons. If you're interested to know more about exactly what our weather's like, we made a video specifically about weather in Clark County, Vancouver area, so go check that out below. The second big reason why people are moving to the Pacific Northwest is that we don't have state income tax. I work with so many clients that come from other states. They come across the border from Oregon, Portland metro area, from California, from the Northeast where taxes are very high. And they are saving somewhere between 10 and 25% because there's no state income tax. If you are an avid saver or you make quite a bit of money and you have low spending and you have a good gap there, this is definitely going to be in your favor. We do have state sales tax because, and local sales tax because we don't have a state income tax. However, like I said, if you are a saver, if you make a lot of money, it's definitely going to be in your favor. If you're interested to know more about taxes in Vancouver, Clark County, Washington area, we made a whole video about that too. So you can go find out about property taxes, income tax, sales tax, business tax, all the taxes in that video down below. The third reason why people move to the Pacific Northwest is that our environment is clean and beautiful. I am so thankful for this one, and I feel like maybe I took it for granted growing up in Washington State, but we just don't have a ton of natural disasters that have ruined our environment. I think of the poor state of California getting decimated by wildfires in the last 5 or 10 years. And I think of people who live in large cities where air pollution is really bad. We don't have that here. Even though Vancouver is the 4th largest city in Washington, our air is still very clean. There's lots of trees everywhere. There's lots of nature, foliage. It's not only pretty to look at, but I feel like it's good for our health. We're breathing in clean air and it's just really nice. The 4th reason why people relocate to the Pacific Northwest is because we are affordable. I'm specifically talking about Vancouver, Camas, Clark County, Washington area. I have some statistics in front of me. They're right here on my laptop. I'm reading them off because I can't memorize all of them. These are the biggest markets on the West Coast. I know that our sales prices here in Vancouver and Clark County are less affordable than the national average prices or median prices, but for the West Coast, where people move a lot up and down, they are very affordable. So starting from the highest up, Bellingham, Washington, close to Canada, the median sales price right now there, according to Redfin, is $625,000. Bellevue, Washington, which is east of Seattle, is $1.35 million. That is probably the most expensive place in Washington State. Seattle proper, $810,000. Los Angeles, $960,000. San Diego, $894,000. And San Francisco, $1.3 million. Tell me what kind of first-time homebuyers can afford those prices. I couldn't if I was a first-time homebuyer, right? And so people are looking for more affordable options with the same type of lifestyle. They're coming up here to Vancouver. I genuinely think we are the most affordable large market on the West Coast. I don't know how we've stayed this affordable for this long, but sitting here right now, the median sales price for city of Vancouver is low 500s, high 400s. That is a lot better and significantly less than any of those on the list. The fifth reason why people love moving to the Pacific Northwest is that we have diversified jobs. I'm super thankful for this because there are definitely parts of the country that are very reliant on one sector of the economy. And at some point, that part of the economy is gonna go down, and it takes everything with it if an area is overly reliant on that sector of the economy. So some examples of jobs that you could get in this area: we have healthcare jobs, we have hospitals and clinics on this side of the river and in Oregon, of course. We have hospitality and tourism. Maybe you wanna work at a hotel, maybe you wanna work at a restaurant with kind of a part-time job. We've got lots of those opportunities. We have professional jobs, lawyer's office, CPA, white collar type of stuff, engineer in person. We have lots of people that work from home these days. Many of my clients work from home and they do all sorts of things from all over the country, which is great. We also have manufacturing jobs. We have some tech jobs here and in Portland. We have many small businesses here that could be so many things that you could work for a small business. And of course, we have public jobs as well. People that work as teachers, or they work for BPA, maybe they work for the military. So it's really a great diversified economy. The sixth reason why people move to the Pacific Northwest is that we're relatively safe from natural disasters and, you could say, the warming of the world. We do have natural disasters. No place is completely immune from them, but we don't have hurricanes that are for sure gonna come every 5 years. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have excessive wildfires that completely wipe out towns. What we really have here as a risk is earthquakes. And that's a risk that I'm personally willing to take because I know they only come once every 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is. They say we're overdue for the big one. I hope that doesn't come while I'm alive, but all things considered, it is a relatively predictable place to live for natural disasters. I think about people that live in Florida on the coast all the time, and I think, how do people move there and buy a home on the coast and think that that home isn't gonna get destroyed at some point? Because there's always hurricanes that come in and destroy everything. That does not happen here, and we're so thankful for that. Also, the warming of the economy, whatever you want to call it, not trying to get political, it's what I've seen, I'm just speaking the truth. We're more up north, and I think the people down south, people in Arizona, people in Southern California, in the next 10, 20, 30 years, they're really going to struggle with water and overheating and energy and a whole bunch of other things, and it's good to be in a more moderate climate up here. By the way, I made a whole video about natural disasters, so go check that out. We'll have the link down below for that. The seventh and final big reason why people move to the Pacific Northwest is that people are nice and cool here. That's kind of an opinion, but that's the general sentiment that I get. I rarely have clients visit this area and say, gosh, people were so mean. They usually say, gosh, people talked to me on the street, they smiled at me, they held a door for me at Starbucks, that's so nice. Two places where I have a lot of clients come from these days: California and the East Coast, somewhere over there. We all know the East Coast is a little bit more formal, a little bit more uptight. That is definitely not the vibes here. We're a little bit more chill on the West Coast. So people from the East Coast really appreciate that. And then people from California a lot of times say, if they're coming from the big cities, gosh, people were so superficial down in the city that we lived in. They were very self-absorbed, and they were all about the hustle and bustle, all about how much money they were making, their status. And up here, things are just a little bit more relaxed and kind of family oriented. Those are the top 7 reasons why people are moving to the Pacific Northwest, in my humble opinion. I hope you liked it. I hope it brought you value. And if you're thinking about moving to or within Clark County, Vancouver, Camas, Ridgefield, Washington area, myself and my team at Dubyne Realty Group at Real Broker, we'd love to serve you. So text us, DM us on Instagram, send us an email. We can't wait to hear from you, and have a great rest of your day. See you next week.